Hello, welcome to 30-Minute Mindfulness. Today I thought we would just reflect on the perception of love, not as in romantic love, but as in this intention of love, this love that we walk with through the world. The first gift of love is our attention. When we give attention to another person, we're giving our care and our concern. We're saying to the other person, you matter. And we all want to feel like we matter, don't we? We all want to feel like we have some importance. One of those often told stories that I love is a nursing student. Her name is Joanne Jones. She tells the story about when she said, during my second month of nursing school, our professor gave us a pop quiz. I was a conscientious student and had breezed through all the questions so far until I read the last one. What is the first name of the woman who cleans the school? Surely this was some kind of joke, she said. I've seen the cleaning woman several times. She was tall, dark-haired, probably in her 50s. But how would I know her name? I handed in my paper, leaving that question blank. Before class ended, one of the students asked if that last question would count toward our grade. Absolutely, said the professor. In your careers, you will meet people, and all are significant. They deserve your attention and care, even if all you do is say hello. So Joanne goes on to say that she's never forgotten that lesson, and she also learned her name was Dorothy. So when love is alive in us, when it's at our center, it inspires everything we do. It kind of pervades our energy, our being. It's what we bring into a room. Every time, even taking time to talk to whoever it is, to Dorothy, to whoever the Dorothy is in our life, love is seeing the people around us. It's paying attention to the person in that moment. Mother Teresa says, we can't do great things, but we can do small things with great love. So great love is discovering every day ways to bring light and warmth and goodness into your life and into the lives of those around us. It could be as simple as smiling at the stranger as we pass by, making eye contact and saying hello to the groundskeeper. Great love could be assuming the best in someone instead of that story that you often might tell yourself about them not liking you or them judging you in a certain way. Love isn't about the expectation of getting what I want out of the deal. Love is showing up with warmth to leave the interaction with a heartfelt care. If the love that I give is contaminated with the expectation that you need to do as I wish to receive my endowment of love, then most likely I will leave those people feeling in some way put out by my love. It's this heaviness that arises. Like I will most likely be consistently disappointed when those whom I love may push back or have a sense of resistance toward my need to get what I want out of the deal. So Rumi eloquently said, your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that have built against it. So what is broken inside limits our ability to show up with a whole heart, with love. To the degree that we can touch our own pain and our own suffering, our own betrayal, is to the degree that we can walk with another through theirs. So our brokenness may show up in many ways. In maybe a few ways that it may show up is it's more important to be right than to offer love. Or is the fear stopping me from reaching out or being vulnerable in some way? Is that fear I'm harboring inside stopping me? Are my past betrayals creating a wall that's impenetrable for those to see through? Is my fear of rejection keeping me from reaching out? Maybe it's something like, is my isolation, is my depression keeping me isolated, more lonely and more stuck? In the state of this world right now, maybe there's a state of panic in you in a lot of us. And maybe that makes it hard to stay present with others. It's hard to hear what other people are saying when the voices in our head just don't quiet down. So our job, as Rumi suggested, is to look into those places that stop us from meeting the world with a whole heart. When we look into those places where we feel guarded or shut off, with the kind of intention of seeing clearly, that curious mind to understand, we begin to heal those barriers that we have built against love. And we begin to show up more of the time with a whole heart. As my teacher Jack Kornfield says, love doesn't try to fix the whole world. It's enough to plant some seeds of kindness and justice wherever we can. Mother Teresa described it this way. She said, I never look at the masses as my responsibility. I look at an individual. I can only love one person at a time. I can only feed one person at a time, just one. So you begin. I begin. I pick up that one person. Maybe if I didn't pick up that one person, I wouldn't have picked up the 42,000. The whole work is only one drop in the ocean. But if I didn't put that drop in, the ocean would be one drop less. Same thing for you. Same thing in your family. Same thing in your community where you live. Just begin. One. This one. One Dorothy. One groundskeeper. One barista at the coffee place. One wait person. One checker at the grocery store. One family member. Who can you pay attention to? Who can you offer your love today, this week? That kind intention, that kind awareness that they matter. So now I invite you to close your eyes as we sit for about 20 minutes. And as always, I'll ring the bell when we're done. So find a posture that's comfortable. Something straight, upright, but not rigid. Just relax into your posture. And take a few deep breaths to bring yourself present. That present moment that becomes our refuge. That place of nothingness in a good way. That place of in and out, in and out. As we reflect on the nature of love, is there a place in your being where you push back against showing up with a whole heart? Is there a place where you feel resistant toward offering loving kindness or loving awareness? In what ways do past experiences, maybe deep wounds and betrayals, in what ways do they limit your ability or your motion towards love? As we consider those areas where we may see some resistance, we remember our humanity, that part of us that makes this a journey toward wholeness. We're not attaining wholeness, we're journeying towards wholeness. It is a lifelong process with deeper layers always there to uncover. And in this moment, we're simply gently looking at what's present now, what's here now. Now bring to mind a person who's easy to love. A pet, a loved one, a friend, maybe somebody who's inspired you in some way or changed your life in some way. Just hold them in your mind and silently offer your wishes for their well-being and their happiness. Offer your love. Reflect on their goodness. It may feel warm to put your hand over your heart and just genuinely offer this person your wishes for their happiness. May you be happy. And then let that image just fade and bring to mind a neutral person. Is there a Dorothy in your life that you could offer kind attention to, that you could show love in the sense of paying attention? Maybe it's the checkout person at the grocery store or the barista at the coffee shop. It could be your neighbor as you walk to get the mail. Is it possible to slow down enough to pay attention to this person? To wonder what color eyes they have? To wonder what they care about most right now? As you hold this person in your mind's eye, maybe you offer them gratitude for whatever they do that may help your life. Or maybe you silently offer them kindness and well-being. May you be happy. And now let that image of that neutral person just fade. And bring to mind someone who's difficult. Not the most difficult person in the world, but just someone who gives you a sense of irritability maybe some of the time, or someone who you find difficult in some ways. Maybe someone who triggers your feelings of insecurity or irritation. Now look for specific examples of this person's goodness. Just pause for a minute and look into their loving nature. And what do you see? If it doesn't come forth right away, that's okay. Maybe it won't. But try to see where their loving nature is. Where is their goodness? If it feels difficult, it can be even the simplest thing, like they really are a good parent to their doggy, or they really do get involved in school and help those kids see a better way. This practice seems to soften our edges when we practice seeing the goodness in others. It softens that knee-jerk reaction to go toward that irritability space. And remember, all of us have people who irritate us in some ways or challenge us. We're looking past our irritation for the goodness. And now offer your kind intention. May you be happy. And let the image of that difficult person fade. Now bring to mind yourself. Hold yourself in your mind's eye. In what ways does it feel scary to be vulnerable to others or to offer love and kindness? Maybe it's not scary, maybe it's guarded. In what ways are you guarded? Maybe life moves quickly and you don't have time. Is it possible to offer this same loving awareness to yourself? The same as we offered to the person who's easy to love and the neutral person and even the difficult person. Can we now just offer that loving awareness to ourselves? It might feel warm to put your hand over your heart and just acknowledge that you matter, that you make a difference in this world. You are that drop in the ocean, and without that drop, the ocean would be less. It is our journey toward wholeness that we begin to love more freely, that we begin to see others for who they really are without being threatened or feel fearful of our differences. It's a curious relationship with difference that arises. And in that curiosity, we also see our own humanity, our own limitations. We see where we need to say no, and when it's right to say yes. As we develop this embodiment of love, a trust arises, a trust in our inner knowing. The truth is inside. We just have to pay attention. I'm going to ring the bell in just a second here. So just wrap yourself in that blanket of kindness, that blanket of warmth, in your own love. And then let it go. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thanks for being here today. Have a great day. As always, I love to hear your comments and feedback. If you have any suggestions or things that you'd like to meditate on, I'd be happy to incorporate those as well. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.